Hi friends, welcome back for another Accent Quickie. I'm your host, actor and speech coach Kelli Ruttle, and today's accent is the Ukraine. In this video, we're going to cover 4 sounds that make the Ukraine accent distinguishable from others and how you can make those sounds happen. Along the way, when applicable, I also plan to point out how this accent differentiates from Russian, because those who are less familiar with accents and phonetics can sometimes confuse the two. And as always, if you find this video useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. Okay, let's get started. One general note to differentiate Ukraine from Russian in terms of accents is the resonance. A Russian accent tends to rest very low in the belly. A Ukraine accent is more here in the chest, not quite this low, but right here, taking on kind of more of a European quality as far as where it rests. So not here, where an American accent tends to rest, more like in the cheeks and the nasal cavity. Ukraine is here, Russian is down low. So keeping that general resonance note in mind, let's start with some phonetics. Important Ukraine sound number 1, I to E. The crisp I vowel sound found in words like fit and crisp becomes a pure vowel E in the Ukraine accent. Russians tend to take the I and E vowel sounds and make them indistinguishable. That means that a word like fit and a word like feet, these two words sound exactly the same in a Russian accent. This shoe fits my feet. But in the Ukraine, they take I and they make it E. And then all E vowel sounds sound exactly the same. That means that both fit and feet sound like feet. This shoe fits my feet. Let's do a little bit more for practice. Heap, bean, peel, village, direct, seek. It's a bit dim in the garbage bin. Lynn lived with English nobility. Incredible. Next. Important Ukraine sound number 2, to oo. The short vowel sound found in words like should and would becomes a tight oo vowel sound in the Ukraine accent. This means that should and would become oo, should, would. Russians will actually interchange the two oo vowel sounds. That means that a word that does have a tight oo sound, like fruit, will become like should. Fruit becomes fruit in Russian. But in the Ukraine, there is no interchange. It's just one simple to oo and not reverse. Food, wood, cook, sugar, stood, off-putting. She took the cook to Brooklyn. We would if we could, but should we? Great. Next. Important Ukraine sound number 3, to ah. The pure vowel as in up, but, and one becomes a wider in the Ukraine accent, as in spa, drama, pasta. That means up, but, and one become up, but, one. Let's try a few more. Cut, utter, some, other, ultimate, above. My uncle is lucky in love. Her brother spent a month in the country. Wonderful. And lastly, important Ukraine sound number 4, TH sounds to S or Z. There are 2 versions of the TH sound in American speech. There's the unvoiced version where there's no vocalization when we make the sound, as in think or thorough. And then there's the voiced version where we do vocalize on the TH, as in this or them. These both become simple switches in the Ukraine accent. For the unvoiced TH, you're going to make an S sound. So think becomes sink, right? Because S is unvoiced as well. And you also have to change the I to E. Remember the first change we covered? For the voiced TH sound, you're going to make it Z. So them becomes zem. The easy way to remember which is which is that it's unvoiced to unvoiced counterpart and voiced to voiced counterpart. Some Russian speakers will do the plosive version of this and occasionally make a T or D sound, as in think to tink or them to them. A Ukraine speaker wouldn't make this change unless they spent a significant part of their youth in Russia. So for the sake of practice, let's stick with the Ukraine tendency of S and Z. Seem, Sri, Surti, Mesed, anything. Zachary thought he'd say thanks. Ziz, za, mazer, another. Feather, Zoe could not breathe in those clothes.
And there you have it. 4 changes that'll give you a great head start on mastering the Ukraine accent. If you found this video useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. There are more phonetic sounds in the Ukraine accent that you can learn, so if you're interested in studying the dialect further, or if you had any questions about what was covered in today's video, you can always find me at speakthespeech.net and reach out via the contact form. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe and well, and break a leg.